what's the point in getting up? I don't want to go anywhere. Like, I could literally count on my hands how many times I left my house over a 3-month summer period.
I had to remember that they were merely man. Yeah. They weren't God. So they weren't going to go above and beyond like God would to show me that he loved me. Hey guys, it's Just Meechyy and welcome back to my channel. So guys, I have a special guest on my channel here today, Adobera.
Hi guys.
She has a channel of her own here on YouTube, so I'm going to link her down below so you can check her out. Amazing channel.
Thank you.
So today we're going to talk about something that we're both really passionate about and we find so important, which is the concept of self-love. Yeah, we're going to dig deep into different aspects of it and how we think everyone should attain this self-love in their lifetime. So yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, talking about the concept of self-love, what do you think self-love is, basically?
Well, to me, self-love is literally a point where you're so content with yourself that regardless of what somebody says to you, it will not faze you because you're happy with who you are. So that's what I think of it. What about you?
Oh, personally, I think there's two aspects of it. There's number one, I think, where you begin to see yourself as God sees you and you accept God's love for yourself, because if you don't accept God's love, you can never be able to love yourself ever. And when you start to see yourself as God sees you, like he says in the Bible, how we're a royal priesthood, how we're a peculiar people, and you start to internalize that, that is a concept of self-love where you know, okay, I'm this sort of person, so I don't ever need to look down on myself or not love myself, basically. And I think another aspect of it is, I went to a marriage seminar a couple of weeks ago, and the pastor talked about how if you don't accept God's love, you become a parasite trying to feed on love from man. And I just thought that was so powerful, because it's true. Once you try to get love from man is going to run out. It can never quench your thirst. So you're going to keep going and keep going and keep going and trying to get love from this person who will never love you as much as God can love you and will never make you as content as God can make you. So you need to come to a point where you love yourself so much that you don't need love from man, that you have enough love within yourself that will satisfy you and quench your thirst. And God has unlimited, unmeasurable amounts of love to give you, so you never need to look at anyone else to provide you with love, basically.
That's a good answer. That's a good one.
So one question I had is, have you always loved yourself?
No, I haven't actually loved myself. Maybe this might come to a shock to some people that know me because I'm very into myself. It's true.
I look gorgeous today. I don't know.
It's actually true. But no, I haven't actually always loved myself, but I think a lot of people wouldn't have noticed that. I mainly didn't love myself in secondary school because I felt like at that point I was bigger than most of the normal girls in my year, and I was a bit taller than them as well. So I kind of felt like a bit uncomfortable with myself, and in that I was also like, I had more weight on me, so I felt a bit self-conscious in how I looked. And I remember one incident as well that probably just topped it off as well. This girl that was in my year, I used to like this boy, and then she said how, you know, he's never gonna like you because you're too big for him.
She said that to your face?
Yeah, she said that to my face, no names. But yeah, she said that to me. I think that was literally the icing on the cake, and
kids are so mean.
I know, and that made me really feel like really uncomfortable. I think that's really where it topped off. And even till now, I just felt like, God, like, am I ever gonna have anybody? But obviously that was that's the least of my worries now. But yeah, so that was a point when I didn't love myself. So what about you? Have you always loved yourself?
No. And this is where my heart starts beating, because
okay, girl.
It's not something I always tell people, but I went through a serious case of depression while I was younger, and up until maybe even this year, the beginning of this year, last year, first year, I just always felt worthless, and I always felt like no one loved me, and I just felt like I didn't want to be here because I felt worthless, and I had a lot of suicidal thoughts. And it was something that was like my normal thought process. So it wasn't anything that was like, to me it didn't seem bad because that was my normal thought process. You know how you wake up, you're like, okay, the first thing I have to do is brush my teeth. That was how normal it was for me, until I recognized that, other people don't actually think like this. So why do I think like this?
Yeah.
And it was a case where I was influenced by movies a lot as well, and grand gestures and stuff. And I felt like I was surrounded by people who didn't go above and beyond to show me that they loved me. So so I felt like, okay, they didn't love me because they're not doing this and this for me. But like, I had to remember that they were merely man. They weren't God. So they weren't going to go above and beyond like God would to show me that he loved me. So the concept of self-love is actually very, very new to me.
Okay, I can definitely relate.
It's so funny coming to this point now, because it's like I look back and I think, did I used to think like that? It's so toxic, so negative. So yeah, I didn't.
And do you know what, guys, it's actually funny that she said this, because I've never heard this before, and this is actually new to me. And even in her saying this, it's just gonna come to you, it's gonna come as a shock to you too, because I had that too. I had it from before, and then in first year, we're going on to third year now, in first year I had it really bad over the summer. But the thing is, as a Nigerian child, or as an African child in general, depression is not something that's spoken about.
It's not real.
It's actually not real.
Like,
I didn't know it was real. Like, I just didn't believe it was real. And it wasn't until I watched a video with another makeup artist, and she's Nigerian. She said that she literally described what I went through, and I was like, God, I went through this. I was actually depressed. And it's so funny, because when I had that, when I was literally at that point in my life, I literally felt like getting up. What's the point in getting up? I don't want to go anywhere. Like, I could literally count on my hands how many times I left my house over a 3-month summer period. It was so bad. Like, I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to do anything. Like, nothing was ever good enough for me. And it took a lot. It took God, and it literally, I had to actually get to the point where I was literally surrounding myself with so much positivity, because it's so easy to fall, but it's very, very hard to get yourself back up. And it's like, when you have certain problems, you can't just go to anybody. You need to go to somebody who's able to relate with you on a certain level, and can give you what you need. At the end of the day, they can't give you what you need, only God can, but
exactly,
you know, help you in a certain way that will actually help you come out of that process. But
it's crazy, because when people don't understand it, they say it's a bad mood, and you're just like, you don't get it. Like, you don't understand. If I could be happy, I would. Like you said, YouTube as well, watching people that have been through depression and talking about it, and I'm like, wait, that sounds like me. Like, I
didn't even know that she was gonna say this. And even when she said that, I was like, hey, I literally wanted to be like
it's crazy. I wanted to do a whole different video. I didn't even mean to say this right now. I wanted to do a whole different video on my depression experience, but it was something that I didn't like to talk about. I didn't even like to say the word depression. When I say the word depression, I get scared. Like,
I've never the thing is, in my head, when I say it, I just feel like people actually think I'm crazy, because I remember at one point I told my brother, I was like, I just said it freely, I was like, oh, you know, I had depression. He was like, oh, alright then. Because you put it out there because you actually want to see how people actually respond to it. But people don't. People think that you're joking. And I only ever told...
Or you're just annoyed, or just in a bad mood. Or...
I only really told one of my main friends, and she was the only person that actually took me seriously, because she actually understood how I felt. And even till this day, I still have to deal with it. Like, sometimes I'm so in my thoughts, and I never know who to go and talk to. But
the thing is, what I love about God and being a Christian and coming into the kingdom and stuff, is that you learn that those thoughts of the enemy, knowing that it's from the enemy, you know, like when you know you're being attacked, or you know you're being made fun of, basically, it's like you don't want to let them win. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna think like that anymore. I refuse. And like, it's literally, they call it mental health because it's literally a state of insanity. Like, you can't, the thought processes you have is not normal.
It's like basically like having an addiction. Obviously, it's not per se something that's gonna just happen in one day. Like, it's a constant process, and you need to make that choice. Like, do I want to stay in the ground, or do I want to actually come up to the top? So it's like, it's every day you just have to keep on working with it. Anytime you get a thought, you need to just cancel that and erase that from your memory. So I think definitely trying to work on something that when you know you have a problem, but identifying it is the first step. Like, you cannot live in denial.
Exactly. If you don't know it's happening, how are you going to rectify the problem?
Yeah.
It's so funny, we didn't even mean for it to get this deep
We
at
actually
all.
didn't. I didn't know she was actually going to say that.
So how did you begin to love yourself?
Okay, so going back to the point where I spoke about like I was a little overweight and stuff, the first thing I did was actually to be practical. What are the things that are making me feel a certain type of way about myself? I said I didn't like my weight. That's something you can change about yourself. So I'm not like the fittest person in the world, but when I feel like I'm hitting a certain stage in my weight where I don't like I really have to work on it. So losing weight was a #1 key for me so I could feel better about myself. But also in that, I love listening to preaching. So I think anytime I'm at a point where I don't like something about myself, I always look for something that's talking about that. So if it's like self-love or, you know, bringing myself down and stuff, I go and look for a preaching about that and I listen to it. And I'm a words of affirmation type of person. So anything to do with words and talking, it really ministers to me. So I have to listen to something uplifting and surround myself with like uplifting words, and also surround myself with the right people, because you have to, if you're feeling a certain way about yourself and the people around you aren't helping you in any way, shape or form, you need to look at your circle and really need to examine, like, is this person helping me get out of the state where I am? And if not, you need to keep it stepping. So those were some of the things that I did, but definitely the main thing for me was surrounding myself with the right words and listen to the right thing, the right music. And even now I do it sometimes. Anytime I feel down, I need to put on something that's saying something amazing about me that I can actually put my head to and, you know, vibes up. So those were the things that I did in summary to love myself a little bit more.
I love that, especially what you said about the right friends, because we were both talking about that before we started filming, and the right friends can really help you change your mindset. Everyone talks about how important friends are, but they really can change the trajectory of your life. Yes, it can. Honestly,
you're a reflection of your friends.
Exactly. So that is a great step to begin to love yourself. Surround yourself with people that love themselves and that love God and that love you as well.
So how did you start loving yourself, Michelle?
Well, obviously, like I said before, God had a huge part in it. I just started to think, like, if the creator of the universe can love someone like me, there has to be something special about me. Like, why wouldn't I love myself if the person that created me loves myself, you know? So I was like, and another point was just that I literally woke up one day and just loved myself. Like, I can't explain it. I think the Patrons said it in one of their videos, like that you just wake up one day and you just love yourself. Yeah. And I think that literally happened to me one day, because do you know how much energy it takes to be insecure? I don't like my hair. Oh, I don't like my face. Oh, I don't like this about myself. I'm tired. It takes too much energy.
It takes a lot of energy.
It literally takes less energy to love yourself than it takes to not like yourself. It literally does, because the amount of time you're spending looking in the mirror, worrying about what people are thinking about you, worrying about what you're gonna wear, what you're gonna look like, blah blah blah. You've wasted the whole day. So I was like, I'm content and happy and just loving myself.
Content. That is literally the word.
Literally. So that's how it came about, really. I can't say, you can have practical methods to begin to love yourself, but one day it just clicks. There just comes a point in your life where it just clicks. So yeah, thank you so much, Ado, for coming on my channel and talking about this. This has been such a therapeutic session.
No, it's not. I think it's actually for the both of us. Really therapeutic for both of us.
Our conversation the whole day has been so therapeutic. But yeah, our aim, like she said in this video, is to just let everyone know that what you're going through is nothing new. Everyone has been through it. Everyone has been through a point where they did not love themselves or they did not value themselves. But the main point is coming to this point where you are content and happy with who you are and where you are, and if there's anything that you don't like, improving on it, making yourself better, so that you come to a point where you love yourself completely and totally.
One thing I can just say to bounce off that is that, you know, if you ever feel like you don't love yourself or you don't value yourself enough, know that there's always going to be someone there to help you. So, you know, pray about it, and obviously you get led to the right person that you need to be talking to. But just know that you're not in this alone. There's probably somebody next to you, or someone that you even know that has gone through exactly the same thing. You are not alone. I really had fun doing this video. I really, really did.
Yeah, I did as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Make sure you share this with any of your friends who you feel like may be battling with loving themselves, or anyone you know in general. We can't wait to see what you guys comment below, and make sure you check out Ado's channel. I'll link it down below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys.
Bye. If you know you have something that you really don't like, you can improve on it. But if it's something that you can't improve on, you just need to learn to accept it. You need, because something you need to realize is that something that you have that you might not like about yourself, someone could be wishing to have that.